we will get started. So welcome to our first masterclass of the new year. Oh my goodness, they just took off. They took off January already, so now I can't even read it. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on. I was like, it was there 10 minutes ago.
I can share my screen now so that you can read it.
All right, do that. Thank you. Sorry about that. I wanted to read your whole bio, which we had.
I think, can you see that?
Yeah, hold on, sorry. All right, how to get more business with neuromarketing. Desirae Haluk is our chief queen bee at Clariant. I know you have a way better bio than that. I had neuromarketing, the secrets to winning more business. But you can tell a little bit about yourself. I'm really sorry about this.
Sure, no problem.
Wait, oh, actually, wait, I found your bio. Desirae Haluk is a neuroscientist and marketer running a digital marketing agency in New Jersey named Clariant. The Clariant team helps clients who have no time for marketing and solely rely on the unreliable method of word of mouth and referrals to find customers. They do this by building solid marketing foundations for healthy and steady business growth. All right, that's what I have. So you can talk more about you, and I am going to put us on speaker mode and spotlight you for everyone. All right.
All right.
We're ready. You take it from here, Desirae, and thank you for being the first of this series for us.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you, Camille. Welcome, everybody. This is one of my favorite talks to give because it's the marriage between my two passions in life. I started my career in neuroscience. I ended up in marketing, and I really use that data-driven approach to our marketing strategies with our clients at Clariant. And a lot of it comes from my scientific background. I love data so much, and digital marketing is beautiful because it's full of data that you can analyze to make better decisions in the future. So today we're going to talk about how to get more business with neuromarketing. So an overview of what we'll talk about today. We're going to go over the definition of neuromarketing. We will go over some examples of big brands that are using neuromarketing, but don't think that only big brands can do this. I want for you guys to completely think in your world of your business and the way that you can apply these same tactics to your own companies. Okay. Interactive neuromarketing exercises. We're going to go over some exercises just for a few minutes. So I don't need for you guys to put up your hands because, to be honest, I can't see anybody right now. I can only see my screen, but just blurt out the answer when I ask you questions if you know them. We'll talk about how we can control our own buying behavior, like impulsivity, but also how can we as business owners take advantage of buying behavior on the purchasing end. All right. So what is neuromarketing? Neuromarketing is the psychology behind consumerism. Okay. It's our neurological reasons for making purchasing decisions. I want you to know that 95% of our decision-making everywhere in our lives are subconscious. Okay. 95% of our decisions are made subconsciously. So this gives you a lot of insight into not being aware of why we are impulsive or why we're making the purchasing decisions we do, or why we prefer one brand over the other, why we prefer one product over the other. So it really dives in deep into the science behind our decisions. And it's all about purchasing based on our emotions. And I'll get to that in the next slide, explaining the science behind that. But ResearchGate came up with a really simple definition of what neuromarketing is. It refers to the use of modern brain science to measure the impact of marketing and advertising on consumers. Okay, so this was the most simplistic definition that I can find. So hopefully that clarifies what neuromarketing is to you. Now, we're going to go over some of the brain centers that are responsible for why we make purchasing decisions, very high level. So our limbic system, which is in the center of our brains, it's in the pink on the right-hand side of your screen. This is our emotion center, okay? This is responsible for when we are sad or happy, excited, embarrassed, super pissed off, or, you know, really super ecstatic about something. So this is our emotion center. Our prefrontal cortex, which is behind our forehead, is our reasoning and our logic center, okay? So as human beings, we feel first and we think later, okay? So under stress, what happens is our limbic system takes over and our prefrontal cortex will back off, okay? Which means that you have no reasoning, and like if you're stressed out, your reasoning backs off, but your emotions take over, okay? So as a result, we get scenarios like the toilet paper crisis during COVID, which I'm sure all of us are very familiar with. Okay, so toilet paper did not give us diarrhea. That was not one of the symptoms typically related to COVID, yet we went crazy over toilet paper during COVID. And this is because we were all under stress. We're watching the news, we're listening to the radio, we're listening to all this hype over supply chain issues, and we freak out and we go shopping and we buy the maximum amount that we possibly can. This is an example of impulsive buying behavior, okay? And all of us probably did this during COVID because we were stressed out, our limbic systems were taking over, our prefrontal logical center was backing off. So here are some of the companies that use neuromarketing today and decades ago, okay? We didn't even know the term neuromarketing, but they were still doing it back then. Companies like Google, Amazon, Coca-Cola, yes, these companies have billions of dollars to spend on their marketing, but all of you can use neuromarketing and the tactics we're going to talk about with no budgets at all, really, okay? So I want you to make sure that you're applying these tactics to your own business. So speaking of tactics, what we're going to learn about today, we'll go over the power of color. We will talk about the theory of relativity. We'll talk about the power of free. It's amazing how that word just grabs the attention of people. We will go over impulsivity. We'll go over buyer's decision anxiety, and we'll talk about scarcity. So first of all, the power of color. So here is an example of 2 landing pages. There's just gibberish on the page, so don't worry about reading it. But Camille, if you can just maybe ask the audience, which color do you prefer? And don't think about it. Just tell me what you prefer, blue or green. Maybe they can put it in the chat. Blue or green.
You want me to read them to you? Or
Yeah.
can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat now. So
Okay, good.
Blue, green, green, blue, green, blue, green, green. There's more green, okay? So isn't that interesting? Because, oh, what's going on here? There we go. Here is the results of the study when they showed this and put this in front of people. The click rates on the blue button was 52%. The click rates on the green button were 72%. Nobody knows why, but they liked the color green over blue for some reason. Now, I am not telling you to go and change all the button colors on your website to green. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But I'm telling you that there is power to color. And if you understand your target audience well enough, then you are going to know what types of colors float their boat more than others do. Okay? Think about like male versus female, children versus adults, that type of thing, what their interests are. So knowing your target audience is going to help you understand the power of color better. And a way for you to do this is to grab a focus group of your own that best represents your target audience for your business. It can be family and friends, but just make sure that they're representing approximately who you would be marketing to, and ask them these questions. You can put, landing pages in front of them, okay? And ask them, what do you prefer? So make sure you are paying attention to the power of color. Here is an amazing example. So Google, several years ago, wanted to increase the clicks on their ads on the search engine results page. So when you go to Google, you put in a term at the top, a keyword, you press search, and at the top where you see ad, that is everybody paying to show up for that keyword. Below that, there's a little line, and below that are all the organic search results, but the ones at the top are the ads. And Google wanted to increase the clicks on these ads because every time that someone clicks on those ads, Google gets paid. So they decided to research 40 different shades of blue to see what people liked best. And for some reason, they took focus groups to do this, lots and lots of people, okay? And they noticed that people, for some reason, were attracted to this specific shade of blue that most of them didn't even know why. They didn't know why, they couldn't explain why. And some of the colors you couldn't even decipher against or between them, okay? So the blue that you see here on the screen is the blue that they chose. Do you know how much this increased Google's clicks or their revenue from their ad clicks? $200 million just by researching the color blue, okay? So, and remember, this was subconscious. People didn't even realize that they chose that blue to like in the focus groups. So a lot of this stuff, and we just click more because we're more attracted to it, but we don't know why. All right, moving on to Amazon. So we all know these buttons. I'm sure most of us have been on the site on the left button, era, and also on the right button era. So Amazon, just like Google, wanted to increase their revenue. And one way of doing that, it was to explore different options for their buttons. And the old button color, when they decided to do this exploration, was, as you can see, it's more, sharper edges. There's a shadow on the back. They have the little logo there. The words are the same. Everything's the same. They found that when they switched their button colors to the right-hand side, which were rounded colors, more bright yellow and a more bright orange, no shadow in the background, this increased their sales by, $20 million, I'm sorry, $20 million, just by changing the buttons. The words are the same, but for some reason we are more attracted and we're gonna buy more because we like the brighter button, okay? So just keep this in mind. We are moving on to theory of relativity, okay? So there was a very reputable kitchen appliance company years ago when they came out with the very first bread machine. Now, it's not necessarily the brand that you're seeing on the screen right now, but they came out with the very first bread machine and they were so excited about it. They're like, people don't have to make it by hand anymore. This can be in every single household. They put it on the market for $175. And they put it on the shelves. They had sold so many other kitchen appliances, so they had a really good reputation, and they sold nothing. They could not give these things away. And so they're like, what is the issue? So what they decided to do, the marketing team came up with a theory where come out with a deluxe model. So they did that. They added a few, bells and whistles. And they put this one beside the basic model, but now this one's on the market for $425. Now that makes $175 not look so expensive, right? So what do you think happened? The basic model flew off the shelves after they came out with a deluxe model. So theory of relativity actually is a thing, and it works, especially for your pricing. Whether or not you're selling products or you're selling services, You want to make sure you give your customers options with different pricing packages so that one package suddenly looks much cheaper next to another more expensive option. Now, let's move on to the power of free. This is very interesting. So, a grocery store, they had cans of soup, and one week they had the cans of soup on sale for buy two, get three. Okay, so you're getting three for the price of two. And that was the language, get three for the price of two. The following week, they had the exact same cans of soup on sale, but now it was buy two, get one free. So which one do you think did better? The buy two, get one free did significantly more sales than the get three for the price of two. And that's because we as humans, for some reason, love to get things for free, but you're spending the same amount. So remember, language in your promotions really, really does matter, and use the word free anytime you can. Here is another example. They did a study where a Hershey's Kiss, they wanted people to choose between a Hershey's Kiss and a Lindor truffle. Okay, I like both of them. I prefer the Lindor truffle, but it looks like most other people did too in study one. So in study one, they had the Hershey's Kiss for 1 cent and they had the Lindor truffle for 15 cents. And you had to choose, which one would you choose? 27% chose the 1 penny Hershey's Kiss, and 73% chose the 15-cent Lindor truffle. All right. Now, they then changed the study where the Hershey's Kiss is now free and the Lindor truffle is the same price as it was before, 15 cents. It completely reversed the study results. Now, 69% of the people went for the free Hershey's Kiss, even though it was only 1 penny less than it was before. And the Lindor truffle is the same price, but the only 31% chose the Lindor truffle. This is the power of free. People go crazy over it. Another quick example, Amazon was doing a study, and I think it was Amazon. It doesn't even matter. That's not the point. But the point is that they were what they wanted to find out is if people were offered a free gift card for $10, or if you pay $5, you'll get a $20 gift card. Okay. Guess what? Nobody chose the $20 gift card for $5. Everybody chose the free $10 gift card. But we know that you get 15 back for giving 5. So you're making more money on the other deal. But because of the word free, people chose that one. So it's amazing how we will change our decisions, and it's all subconscious, right? It's all subconscious decision-making. Let's move on to impulsivity. So this is kind of a fun personal example from me. And it was me like fighting against my impulsivity. So my boyfriend Lenny and I went on a business trip in September to Texas, and we were there hanging out for the first time, actually like enjoying Texas. And we had 1 hour to get to the airport. So we were a little bit stressed out, but Lenny said the entire trip, I will not leave Texas without coming home with a cowboy hat. So we enter into this store, and he goes to the hat section, and I see these boots, okay? And they're all pure leather, handmade boots, every single one of them. And these aisles went on forever. And I was like, oh my God, look at these. So, you know, Lenny's looking at his hats, and I go to the boot section. I didn't need anything, by the way. So I see these pure white boots just calling out my name. There's only one pair, and they happen to be in my size. So I try them on, I fall in love, and then I look at the price tag and I'm like, ugh, because I knew I never would have normally bought these. I don't need them at all. And probably I'm going to wear them for Halloween once and then never wear them again. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh God, time's ticking. We have to get to the airport. And I'm thinking, I should just do it. I should just do it. Just do it, Des. And I'm like literally talking myself off of a cliff here. So I decide to keep my prefrontal cortex in the mix, and Lenny chooses his hat. He's trying to tell me to buy the boots. I don't buy them. We walk out of the store. I then have remorse that I didn't buy them. We got about 20 minutes to get to the airport. And I'm like, let's go back. So we go back. I try them on again. I then start being logical and I'm like, nope, can't do it. Walk out of the store. Fine. Okay. So I fought the impulsivity. Okay. My limbic system was taking over because I knew I had to get to the airport. I was stressed out. So I couldn't make that decision properly, thinking about the cost of it versus how much do I need it or want it. But I feel like I succeeded until I got home off the airplane and I went right to Amazon and I looked up cowgirl boots. Okay. Now I did not buy red ones, but this is just the screenshot that I took. But I want to show you how Amazon and other online shopping platforms take advantage of things like impulsivity. Okay. So you can see on the right, it says free delivery tomorrow if you order within 8 hours. So what does this do? This causes stress and our limbic system takes over and we start panicking. Well, I don't want to wait more than tomorrow. I want these boots now or yesterday. So if I click the button, then they're going to come. So this causes you to be impulsive. Okay. Another thing is the buy now button. Now it's not good enough to add things to the cart. Okay. Then you go to the cart, it adds up all your items. You're like, ooh, that's expensive. Now you can buy now, but with one click and everything, and it will come to you tomorrow and you don't even have to go through the review of the cart process. This is feeding into our impulsivity. Okay. Now, another example of impulsivity is also from Amazon. So they, very much like Google or before with their button shapes and colors, they wanted to increase their sales. And they noticed that when people were signing into Amazon, they were backing out of the purchasing process for some reason, right at this point. They were looking at their analytics. They saw from this point, people would exit the site. They're like, what is going on? So they simply, so how it was originally, where is you go on Amazon and you search cowgirl boots, let's say, okay? The cowgirl boots come up. You look for your color, you look for the brand, you look for the size, you're spending a few minutes, you finally find the boots of your dreams, then you click, add to my cart, but you didn't sign in first. So it tells you sign in and this window pops up. So what happens is people are like, oh, I don't feel like signing in. I'm lazy. So they back out of it. So what Amazon decided to do was think about the user experience. And they took this sign in window, which is very simple and easy, but they put it on the front end of the user experience. So now before I even search for my boots, I have to sign in and I gotta be logged in. What this does is it allows you to continue your impulsive purchasing behavior because you're not being stopped in your tracks saying, are you sure you want to do this, by the sign-in process. Now you sign in first. Okay. This increased Amazon sales by $300 million. So think about how you can take your own website or any type of your customer experience. It could be walking into your store and however the step-by-step process is to fulfilling the services or the products that you give to your customers. How can you simplify that process for them and make it more streamlined? One more impulsivity example. Another Amazon, I'm sorry, these are the ones that are most public to us so that we can research them. Another thing with impulsivity is we as humans these days, we don't want to wait for anything. And so Amazon decided to improve the speed of their site, the loading speed of their site. They improved it by 1/10 of a second, you guys, 1/10, which is absolutely subconscious. We cannot tell if something is 1/10 of a second faster. This increased their sales by $1.7 billion by improving the speed of their site by 1/10 of a second, because we as humans are super impulsive. Isn't that crazy? It's amazing. It blows me away. All right, let's move on to the next tactic. This is buyer's decision anxiety. And for you as marketers or as business owners, you need to reduce buyer's decision anxiety when you are trying to convince them to purchase your products or services. Okay. So here is an example of some software platform. Okay. And what they did here is they reduced buyer's decision anxiety by saying most popular on the $99 platform plus package. Okay. Now go back to the theory of relativity. If I had shown you the $49 a month the DIY platform by itself without the other two options, you're going to be like, oh, $50 a month is kind of a lot. But if you see the $99 a month one next to it, you're going to think, you know what? 49 is not that bad. Same with the $299 one, right? So keep that in mind, theory of relativity. But here we're reducing buyer's decision anxiety by putting the simple words of this is the most popular package. What this does is it tells us, well, everyone's choosing that package. They must be happy with it. More people buy that one than the other two options. So I'm going to go for that one. So this makes us feel better about the decisions we're making. Back to Amazon or any online shopping platform, but I'm always on that. So let's say you were searching for dog treats and 45 different dog treats come up. Okay. So how do they reduce that? How do they help you to make the decision? Okay. One way of doing it is by adding the customer reviews at the bottom. So there's 5-star reviews here. 64, almost 65,000 people gave an almost 5-star review on this. Your dog must like these treats. I don't know how the dogs are rating this, but they obviously love these treats. Okay. Same with these ones. 36,000 people, 5-star reviews. This has to be a great product. I don't even have to go further. I don't have to do more research. Buy now, buy with one click, right? Another way that they can do it is adding the bestseller labels on the products. Now, I want you to realize that just because you don't have a bestseller doesn't mean you can't slap a label on it, bestseller. This is a marketing tactic. It doesn't mean it really is the bestseller. So I want to make sure that you're using these tactics to reduce buyers' decision anxiety. Now, power of scarcity, and I am total victim to this one. So at Costco, and I love Costco as much as Amazon, probably even more. But at Costco, this is an example of water, okay, like a flat of bottled water, and it says limit 2 per household, okay? And what does this do? This kicks your limbic system into action, and you're stressed out because someone's trying to control how many you can buy, and B, they're telling you that there's supply chain issues, okay? Like, we don't have enough to go around. You better buy 2. But I only came in to buy 1 flat of water, but now I'm buying 2. So they just doubled their revenue by telling me that I can't buy more than that. Same with like a tube of toothpaste. I go in for 1 tube of toothpaste. They tell me limit 4. I freak out because, oh my God, maybe this won't be here tomorrow because there's supply chain issues, right? Or they only bought a certain amount, so they must be a good deal. So I buy 4, but I came in to buy 1, right? I'm sure all of us fall victim to this, but power of scarcity. And I'll give you another example that probably all of you are aware of. When you are searching for flights, we all know that a bunch of prices come up, and there's always that one set of seats that says there's only 1 or 2 or 3 seats left at this price. So what do? You freak out, you stress out. Oh my God, if I don't buy it now, I might not be able to get the seat later. But you know that there's probably a plane behind it that needs to be filled up, and I'm sure it's going to be similar prices. But we freak out because we stress out, our limbic system takes over, our prefrontal cortex, the logic center, backs off, and we will buy that seat because it told us there's only 1 seat left. So be aware of this when you guys are doing this, and also use it as a business owner on your own marketing. This is a fun example. Okay, so subconscious purchasing behavior. A liquor store decided to do some research on their sales of different types of wine. So what they decided to do is they played French music one day and German music the next. And when they went back and looked at their sales, they noticed that on the days that they play French music, they sell more French bottles of wine. On the days that they sell or they played German music, they sold more German bottles of wine. But when they went outside and chased the customers and asked them, why did you make this decision? They said, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, is there a reason why you chose German or French wine? No, nobody could tell you why. So remember, 95% of our decisions are subconscious, and that includes most of our purchasing behavior. Okay. Now, let's do a tactics overview. I'm going to remind you of what we just learned. We went over the power of color. That was with Google and Amazon, right? With their buttons and the ad color, the 40 shades of blue. Theory of relativity. Remember the pricing of the bread machine. Make sure you offer multiple prices on your packages or on your products. The power of the word free. If you can offer free shipping somehow, people love that. And remember that buy two, get the third free is better than two for the price of three. Remember impulsivity, feeding into people's impulsivity. Remember the speed of the Amazon site and their sign-in form being at the front instead of the back end of their customer experience. Reducing buyers' decision anxiety. Remember that social influence, okay? So if you have the reviews, and if you can slap the labels, Amazon bestsellers or bestseller, or others like you buy these items, you're going to help your purchasers reduce their buyers' decision anxiety. And then remember scarcity. Remember the Costco limit or the limited quantities at Costco or the seat sales on flights. All right, so I'm going to ask now, there are two things here, two tactics that we learned that this web page is using. So I want people to take a look at it and tell me what they think, what types of tactics. There's two of them that are obvious. You can, Camille, can they blurt it out, or do you want them to put it in the chat? It's up to you.
Whatever you want.
Okay, just blurt it out.
Easiest.
Blurt it out. Does anyone know?
Bestseller.
Bestseller. Where does it say that?
Well, they're showing you the middle one, right? Like they're showing you, it implies that that's the one that, at least to me, that people buy.
This is great, but why do you imply that? It doesn't, why does it imply that? Because it doesn't say bestseller, but you're onto something, but explain why you're looking at that one.
Because it's centered and it's pulled forward. So
Okay.
Your eye goes to it right away. You're like, oh, that's the main one. It's in the middle also.
It's in the middle, but how is it different than the other ones, other than it being pulled forward and centered?
It's called Pro.
No, it's blue.
Oh, the coloring. Yeah.
Right? So power of color. So yes, very good. Our eyes go directly to the middle, right? Okay, what's another one?
I see the most popular over on the right after enterprise. That was something you pointed out.
Very good. Yes, the label most popular. But what's funny is you would think that the pro or the basic would be most popular, and your eye goes to the pro. So I think that for them, like, I think they probably should have put most popular on the pro, because it probably is. I'm sure there's way more basic and pro customers. I'm actually a customer of this. And then there are enterprise, but you know, that, of course, I don't know their analytics, but yes, very good, most popular. Is there one more thing that people can think of? A tactic? Remember the bread machine example?
Because this is their most expensive, do you think more people buy it, or would they automatically go to the basic?
Well, so, okay, good question, but this is theory of relativity, right? So imagine that all they had was the basic here.
Right.
Imagine that. You would be like, holy, 900 a year, that's a lot of money. But now it's next to the $1,800 a year option. So 900 is like, that's half the price. I mean, that's cheap.
Yeah.
So remember, theory of relativity. So I don't know who's buying what, but I would probably think that the basics are going more, but they're trying to sell the pros more than anything. And I would have had 3 options here to have like pricing for the enterprise model, but they didn't choose to do that. And who knows about, it all depends on what your goals are. We don't know what their goals are or which ones they want to sell more. But if we didn't see the pro in the middle, we would think basic is probably pretty expensive until we see the more expensive one, just like the bread machine example. Let's move on. There's a lot going on here. So can somebody point out examples of reducing buyers' decision anxiety?
Oh, buy with one click.
Buy now with one click, right? It's not enough to add to the cart anymore. We got to buy with one click. Impulsivity. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. That's impulsivity. Reducing buyers' decision anxiety is more of like, see the 5-star ratings. This is like, it's telling me I'm making the right decision because so many other people made this decision and they must be happy because they gave a good rating. Is there another one that's reducing buyers' decision anxiety?
Amazon's Choice.
Amazon's Choice, right? If this is Amazon's Choice, it must be a good product. So I'm going to buy it without thinking about it. There's one more thing that we didn't go over that is reducing buyers' decision anxiety. Can anyone think about what it would be? Think about what would make you feel good about purchasing this and take the risk away.
The free return.
Free returns, very good. And it's even down here. Eligible for return, refund, or replacement within 30 days. This takes all the risk away. It's a full refund if I don't like it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to see when it gets home. I'm going to see if I like it. So those are 3 examples of reducing buyers' decision anxiety. Now, one more thing other than what Camille said for impulsivity. What is one other example other than the buy now button for impulsivity?
The discount.
Yeah, discount.
Discount is very good too, because we know that discounts don't last forever. So we're like, if I don't buy it now, that might go back up to full price. Very good. And there's one more.
Fast delivery.
Fast delivery, that's more, yeah, yes, that's good. Fast delivery, but also order within 8 hours. Right? And get it tomorrow if you order within 8 hours. So that's like, I better do this now because I want it tomorrow. All right. Okay. So now let's talk about ways for you as a purchaser to reduce stress-induced buying. Okay. One way is to buy with cash and not credit card. What this does is it allows your brain to understand the consequence of your actions right on firsthand. So if I'm like counting my money and I'm exchanging this for a product or a service, I see it leave my hands. And this is a lot more effective to us understanding the consequence to our buying behavior. If you buy with a credit card, you learn 30 days later about your purchase that you made, right? So it's disconnected. And you want to keep that experience connected so that you face the consequences right away. And that will make you purchase less. Dedicate only 1 or 2 days a week for your shopping. Today, we have access to online shopping 24 hours a day. And so we can do it anytime. And when we're sad, we might go shopping. When we're happy, we might go shopping because it's on our computer at home. We can do it at night. We can do it on our phone. If you limit the days of the week that you're allowed to shop, you are going to reduce your spend and your stress-induced buying behavior. Exercise. Exercising reduces stress. Remember our limbic system, right? We want to reduce our stress so that our prefrontal cortex can make more logical buying decisions. Okay. Reduce screen time. Our brains, our human brains, were not made to interact with screens. They were made to interact with other people. And so if you're more social, this is going to fuel your prefrontal cortex. It's going to make you feel safe and less stressed when you're around others. Okay. Naturally, we are social human beings. It makes us feel safe. When we are safe and feeling less stressed, you are less likely to buy impulsively. So buy with cash and not credit card. Dedicate only a day or two a week for your shopping, whether it's online or in person. Exercise, reduce screen time, and be more social. And this is going to help you reduce your stress-induced buying. Now, how can you as business owners leverage neuromarketing? So the first and most important thing is for you all to understand your audience. Who is your target? What do they do every day? Are they male or female? What is their age groups? Where do they live in the world? Are they married or single? Do they have children? Know everything you can about your audience, because it's going to help you craft the better offers and better marketing decisions in the future. Create homemade focus groups. Remember earlier, I said, create a focus group that best represents your target audience. Once you know who your target audience is, you can then craft your homemade focus groups. They can be your family and friends. That's okay. If I know most of us don't have $1 million budgets, right? So we want to be able to do this in a DIY homemade manner, and we can do that, but you have to get creative. Have these groups choose between two options, whether it's landing pages or colors, or it might be sales or marketing material. Ask them what they prefer and actually take their answers into consideration. And if they prefer one over another, it doesn't mean you stop there. You can then take another variable on whichever piece you're sharing with them and change it again and go even deeper. Offer something for free. So most of the things in my cupboard at home or my fridge from Costco is because I tried it first. They offer free samples, and free samples sell, let me tell you. Most of the things that I've purchased, I never would have if I didn't taste it first or if I didn't try it first. So offer something for free. And if it's not food or if it's not something that you can sample, make sure that you add the word free in your offer. It could be a free book if you pay for shipping, and shipping can be the cost of the book. So think about that. Think about ways you can be creative with the word free. Offer choices when pricing your packages. The theory of relativity, it works. So make sure you are offering tiers or different packages. Reviews on your products. Make sure you are posting reviews on your services or your products from your current customers. Ask them. Most people are willing to give reviews. Go to your Google business page. You can grab the link right from there. It's literally a one-click. They give you a 5-star review, and they can add in text if they want. It's a very simple process. For B2B, use language like, our clients like you buy this. This is for reducing buyers' decision anxiety. For B2C, you can use bestseller labels on your products. Remember the power of scarcity. Limit the amount of products allowed to be purchased. Okay. Or only if you're offering services, you can say, we're looking for one more client this month. So this says, oh my God, that's going to fill up. I better be that one more client. How can you leverage, this is some more continued from the last slide. Establish a trend. Products are flying off the shelves. Customers are pouring in. Get it now while supplies last. This puts stress on the purchaser and it makes them act impulsively. Sense of control. I feel like I'm like telling you guys to do illegal things here because like it's total manipulation, but it's not illegal and it works and everyone's doing it. So you might as well take advantage of it too. Give your customers a sense of control. And what I mean by that is instead of asking them, do you want to get vaccinated? You ask them, which vaccination do you prefer? So apply this to your products and services. Which product do you prefer? Or which one of our services are you going to choose? Instead of saying, are you interested in our products or services? It's which one do you want? So change your language to be a little more manipulative so that they feel like they have a sense of control. Make your website fast. Remember the Amazon example, 1/10 of a second. Invest in finding a web developer who can help you with this. I'm telling you, it's going to help you significantly rank higher on the search engines. And then another thing for reducing your buyer's decision anxiety that we didn't actually talk about is guarantees. That's kind of like the return policy thing. It's if you're not happy, you get a full refund. If you don't like the product, you can return it. So guarantees work. They're excellent. Now, this is the last example. And what's my point here is that small changes equal very big impact. Okay. This can in marketing. So be creative. In Europe, there was an airport that was very annoyed with the cost they were spending on janitorial services in the men's washroom. There was so much urine splatter on the walls behind the urine or the urinals that they were just fed up. And they're like, how can we get around this? And the options were to buy new urinals that were, shaped differently. They went through all of their very expensive options. And then they came up with, well, let's just etch a fly on the most optimal part of the urinal, because men love to aim at things when they pee. When you're potty training your little boys, I have a little boy, and you potty train, you throw the Cheerio in the toilet and you're like, they're aiming at it. They love it. It's like a game. Men like to do that too. Okay. So they literally etched this, they put little stickers or they etched this fly on all of the urinals. This reduced splatter by 80%.
Wow.
80%. So small changes can be huge, very hugely impactful for your marketing. So I want to just leave you all at that. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to open it up to questions. And you can always check Clarence Services out on the web or email me. You can call me, add me on LinkedIn, and I will take some questions.
Does anyone have any questions? I can't see. You can also raise your hand. You'll go to the front of the thing. Desiree, this was fantastic. Really, really good. Actually, while you were doing it, I was talking to my marketing team, my web team. I was like, we need different buttons. We need this. I was like, let's look into this.
And you know what, if you're not sure, like at the beginning, I told you, don't everybody change to green buttons, because that's not what I'm telling you to do, but always do A/B testing for your emails, for your landing pages, for social media posts. Like use A/B testing. It's so easy for you to do. And it works because then you see, and remember, small changes equals big impact. So make sure that, you're actually using data to support your decisions for what you're doing.
Right. Like one of the things we found is when we offer a sale or do something like that, it makes no influence on our particular buyer. It makes no difference. So we stopped doing it. Like we've tested it so many different times, so many different ways. We're like not influenced by price.
But also that's interesting, but also tweaking your offer, right?
Yeah.
So when you create an offer, you are speaking to your target audience's pain points. Okay. Right. Your offer should be the solution to why they are up at night. So play around, because there's not always only one. There's probably a whole bunch of pain points that you may be fulfilling as a business owner, and your solution will will be the answer or will solve those pain points in more than one way. So then craft your offer as in it's a solution for each one of those pain points in different offers, and then test them that way too.
Yeah, yeah. This was absolutely fabulous. I really appreciate you doing this.
Awesome.
I'm just reading all the awesome content. Loves Desiree's energy. Thank you. Yes, and for the recording, there is a recording available. It will be in our learning library. It is free for everyone. We will probably I'll send out the link too once it's uploaded, once the team uploads and everything, so you have that. So everyone will have the free in case you want to look over it again. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your time. I know
Yeah,
everyone's so busy.